We'll have that on our network. Does LSU bounce back at Columbia against a 5-0 undefeated, higher ranked Missouri team?
That's going to be an interesting one. Listen, let's start with Mizzou first, right? I mean, Brady Cook hasn't thrown a pick. I mean, you want an underrated quarterback that we're not talking about, right? He has Luther Burden to throw to, the former 5-star all-everything player. They've just very quietly just slid under the radar, just kind of sat there, and they're not, hey, don't look at us. We're not here. There's nothing to see here.
Right, just go stay away.
Just stay away with nothing going on, and they're a good team. I think this is a test. This is a game that's very winnable for Missouri. Okay, I think LSU's kind of backed in the corner. The problem with LSU, listen. I always say this. Anytime I've ever played LSU, you have the no look. You have the no look rule, right? Which was when you come out to stretch and warm-ups, don't ever turn around and look down the other end of the field, right? Because I'm going to tell you what, I don't care if you're playing the Dallas Cowboys, the Kansas City, whoever, they don't look as good as what LSU looks. Like LSU is going to come out in the gold pants, the white jersey. You're going to look down that other end of the field, and guys are going to start running by in like single digits and teens, and they're going to run by your D line, and you're going to be like, that's their corners and safeties, and they're like towering over your D line. So LSU's got a pretty team. Listen, last year they were probably a little ahead of schedule, right? And so all this expectations come in this year. And what are their losses? Against a national title contender, motivated FSU game in week 1.
Yeah.
And a road loss against Lane Kiffin in a high-scoring shootout at Ole Miss. And anytime you go on the road in the SEC, it's up for grabs. So, I was still looking. I'm not saying LSU's not a good team this year. I think they're an excellent football team this year that has played a very difficult schedule, but they have another one. And, this is a sleepy game. You go on the road to Missouri.
11 a.m.
It's not the environment, and I don't want to knock Missouri's environment. Great football environment. But it's not Death Valley on a Saturday night. It's not Tuscaloosa on a Saturday night. And anytime you play those early kickoffs, when you show up you're used to showing up in the SEC at the stadium. When you show up and the bus is rolling in at 4:30 for a 7:00 game, and they're throwing stuff at the bus, they're shaking it. Everybody's telling you you're number one with the other finger, right? I mean, you're number one for everybody. Your fans say you're number one, or the opposing fans say you're number one, right? And the atmosphere, you just go out to warm up, and the student section's already packed, going crazy. When you're pulling up for the 11A cook, it's 8:30 in the morning. Right? I mean, the tailgates are getting set up. They're not all sauced up, ready to go just yet. And so you're like, oh, okay, it's kind of a slower, sleepy start. So this is a very dangerous game for LSU to come in, and a game that could really derail their season.
It could end it. And so this is going to be a fun one to watch. Again, that one noon Eastern, ESPN will have the halftime festivities. But when you look at a game like that, that's a ranked matchup, on this Saturday, I'm telling you, things are going to start clearing up.
Give me something I can feel. Light a cigarette.